Hello everybody, I'm Dan Murrell, here to talk about the last major push before the Academy Awards, which are now less than a week away. We are talking about the Screen Actors Guild Awards, which were held last night, and I'm also going to sprinkle in a little bit of coverage of the Independent Spirit Awards, which were held on Saturday. The SAG Awards were streamed last night live on Netflix, and in a barrage of Hollywood award shows this season, this one definitely wins the award for Best Shot of Harrison Ford Eating behind Jessica Williams.
And sure enough, all my dreams have come true here. From my dream of preparing.
Now, actors represent a huge part of the Academy, and so I always like to look at the SAG Awards to see which way the wind has been blowing, even though Oscar voting is already closed, so nothing that happened at the SAG Awards could affect the outcome for the Academy Awards. But much like every other major award show this season, instead of clarifying the Oscar picture, the SAG Awards really just throw everything up in the air, or at least don't give us any insight as to whether something is taking a bigger lead than it already had. Let's start with the biggest surprise of the night, which was Timothée Chalamet's win for Best Actor in A Complete Unknown. Adrien Brody has been absolutely dominating this category. I think I read that Timothée Chalamet has not won this award in any televised awards ceremony where he was competing against Brody, and this was truly a comeback and a miracle that only the Kwisatz Haderach could pull off.
Timothée Chalamet!
Listen, I gave!
It's actually funny when you go back to the announcement of the winner to see everyone's individual reaction. Lily Gladstone seems genuinely shocked to see anyone else's name but Adrien Brody on the card. Ralph Fiennes seems to be happy for the youngster in the category. Adrien Brody goes from pretending to play it casual to the standard smile even if you lost face. Daniel Craig knew he was going to lose but is mildly surprised at the winner. Coleman Domingo is just having a great time as always. And Timothy himself goes from, all right, let's get this over with, to, oh crap, I have to give a speech in about 3 seconds flat. And speaking of Timothée Chalamet's speech, it's caused apparently a bit of a stir online. I know that's so surprising, right? Because people thought that he was too cocky or didn't show the proper respect or wasn't humble enough.
The truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness.
And was it a little cocky? Yeah, sure. But honestly, I'll take what he said over a repetition of the same empty platitudes that we've seen 1,000 times before at 1,000 awards shows. I mean, keep in mind, this is a guy who probably didn't think he had a chance in hell of winning and then had to go up there and say something that he obviously hadn't really prepared. And honestly, I don't think that he really said anything that bad. He didn't take the trophy and say, I am the greatest actor in the world. Suck it, other nominees. He went up there. He said that maybe it's a bit gauche to acknowledge, but that he put 5 years into that role and that he's very happy to win the award. He said he aspires to greatness, that he wants to be one of the greatest actors of all time, that he took inspiration from the people that were in the room, that he also takes inspiration from great actors like Marlon Brando and Viola Davis. And he said that getting this award isn't proof that he's one of the greatest actors of all time. It's just validation that helps keep him motivated as he works harder to become one of the greats.
This doesn't signify that, but it's a little more fuel, it's a little more ammo to keep going. Thank you so much.
And here's the thing about Timothy. He is easy to hate. He doesn't have that movie star polish. He sometimes does say and do dumb things and generally act a fool like just about everybody did in their 20s. He's dating somebody in the Kardashian circle, so of course he's going to be overexposed on that front. But as I said when I reviewed A Complete Unknown, yes, you can look at all of that stuff, but behind it all, Timothée Chalamet backs it up with talent. He is an incredibly talented actor. He's not some one-hit wonder that went up there and declared himself on the road to being one of the greatest actors ever. And let's just look at the numbers here. He's 29 years old. He just became the youngest ever winner of the Best Male Lead Performance at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. He has 2 Oscar nominations under his belt at under 30. His first one came at 22 years old. That made him the 3rd youngest ever nominee for Best Actor and the youngest since Mickey Rooney back in the 1940s. And he's proven that he can carry anything from a tiny indie to a massive sci-fi franchise. I'm not saying he's one of the greatest actors of all time, but I am saying that when you look at his generation, he certainly is in contention for the best actor of his generation, and I think that he's building a really impressive career. So yeah, for me, the speech kind of inspired a playful shake of the head with some respect for saying what he actually thought, but I just didn't feel this anger and condemnation that so many other people did. If anything, this just requires him, as I'm sure he knows, to continue to back up what he's been saying. As far as the Oscar race, the numbers are in Timothée Chalamet's favor because 8 of the last 10 SAG Award winners for Best Actor went on to win the Academy Award. The only exceptions were when Chadwick Boseman won for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anthony Hopkins famously would go on to win the Academy Award. And then Denzel Washington won the SAG Award for Fences, but would lose the Oscar to Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea. However, Brody has been so dominant in this award season that I still think that he is the favorite to win Best Actor, because let's keep in mind the Academy Award in general showed a lot more support for The Brutalist than SAG did. They left out a lot of his co-stars that were nominated for the Oscars. I wouldn't be angry if Timothée Chalamet won. I wouldn't be completely shocked if he won, but I still think that it is squarely Brody's Oscar to lose at this point. Let's move on to the Best Actress race, which I think is genuinely a toss-up right now. Mikey Madison followed up her BAFTA win with a win at the Independent Spirit Awards on Saturday for Best Lead Performance, besting Demi Moore. And if she'd won last night, I think that I would tab her as the frontrunner for Best Actress. But Demi Moore took home the SAG Award for Best Female Performance, indicating that the acting branch is hugely supportive of her, which means that I think there is genuine suspense as to who is going to win Best Actress at the Oscars. I'm going to have to really think hard about who my personal pick is going to be. SAG has been less predictive of the Best Actress Oscar than it has for Best Actor. Only 7 of the last 10 winners have gone on to win Best Actress. Lily Gladstone won for Killers of the Flower Moon, but she lost the Oscar to Emma Stone. Viola Davis won for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, but she lost to Frances McDormand in Nomadland. And Glenn Close won for The Wife, but lost the Academy Award to Olivia Colman for The Favorite. So while Demi's win does give her momentum at the Academy Awards, I think that this is still a dead heat, with Fernanda Torres still lurking as a long shot contender. The Best Picture race also didn't get any cleaner over the last few days. Sean Baker and Anora had a big night at the Independent Spirit Awards, picking up Best Director, Best Lead Performance in a category that's not split by gender at the Independent Spirits, and Best Feature. An ensemble win at SAG tonight would really have just added to its Best Picture resume. Instead, the SAG Award for Best Ensemble went to Conclave, which really isn't shocking given that the cast is driven by an ensemble of talented Hollywood veterans. The SAG Award for Best Ensemble isn't particularly predictive in the last 10 years of Best Picture. Only 6 of the last 10 Ensemble Award winners have gone on to win the biggest prize at the Academy Awards. So the fact that Anora didn't win this award doesn't really pull me off the idea that it's the frontrunner for Best Picture, because there's still only one other movie that's won at the Producers Guild, Directors Guild, and Writers Guild and not won Best Picture. That's Brokeback Mountain. But I do think that The Brutalist and Conclave specifically are positioned well enough at this point that if they did win Best Picture, I wouldn't be absolutely shocked. And I think there's 1 or 2 other ones that have a fighter's chance as well. It's nice to see actors like Ralph Fiennes, John Lithgow, Isabella Rossellini, and Stanley Tucci get recognized and get SAG awards here. Ironically, due to SAG rules regarding who gets a statue for this Best Ensemble win, which is judged by how you're credited in the movie, Carlos Diaz, who plays Benitez in Conclave, will not get that SAG award statue, which is kind of ironic if you've seen Conclave and you know what role he plays in the film. In not so surprising news, Best Male Actor in a Supporting Role went to Kieran Culkin, as complete a sweep as you can get during awards season. And after missing a few award shows due to family reasons, Kieran Culkin used this win as an opportunity to really perfect his tight 5 stand-up routine.
It is funny that the heaviest of all awards is the one that's given by actors. It's like, you know, us, what we do.
Culkin also won Best Supporting Performance, another non-gendered category, at the Independent Spirit Awards on Saturday night, and I'm pretty sure that he will also win the Razzie Award somehow for this role, as well as the Tony and Motor Trend's Car of the Year.
13, 12, 11, I haven't said anything.
Best Female Actor in a Supporting Role went to Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. That pretty much locks it up for her. Only another actor winning here at SAG could have thrown any suspense, in my opinion, into the Oscar race, because there has been no indication that it's not going to be her. I did think that it was very interesting earlier in the night when Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez introduced a clip package from Emilia Perez, which lacked Emilia Perez. They cut Carlos Sofia Gascon completely out of the clip package for the movie. She also was not at the awards, and right now I'm questioning whether she's even going to show up at the Oscars on Sunday night. So coming out of the SAG Awards last night, where I thought that we might get clarity on some of these Oscar races, the state of many of them are still who knows. And honestly, I'm okay with that, especially after Oppenheimer's dominant march to Best Picture last year. Of course, I loved Oppenheimer, but I also like to not know who's going to win a lot of these categories. Let's talk about some of the other film awards that were handed out at the Independent Spirit Awards on Saturday. Breakthrough Performance went to Maisie Stella in My Old Ass, which I thought was very well deserved. I'm on record as being a big fan of that film. In the documentary category, No Other Land won the Independent Spirit Award. It's now the odds-on favorite for the Oscar, despite the fact that the movie has absolutely no distribution and really isn't available to anybody but awards voters, and not even all awards voters, and people who happen to be in major cities where the documentary is screening. I said it before, I really cannot think of another time when the frontrunner for Best Documentary was so inaccessible. Jesse Eisenberg won the Independent Spirit Award for Best Screenplay. Anora is tagged as the frontrunner for the Oscar, but there is a lot of love for A Real Pain out there, so I think that you can safely put it down as a dark horse, perhaps upset contender at the Oscars. Sean Wong won 2 Independent Spirit Awards for Best First Screenplay and Best First Feature for his movie Dee Dee. If you haven't seen Dee Dee, it's a great coming-of-age film that you should definitely seek out. Jomo Frey won Best Cinematography for Nickel Boys, which I think was very well deserved. I was shocked that that movie wasn't nominated for the Academy Award. The Best Editing Prize went to Hans-Jörg Weisbrich for September 5, which I thought was also well deserved. And Best International Film went to Flow, which has really picked up a passionate fan base. I think that movie is also on upset alert for the Academy Awards in the international categories as well as the animated category. So those are the big movie awards that were handed out this past weekend, but if you're a fan of television, both the Independent Spirit Awards and the SAG Awards also honored the best in TV, and if you're a fan of Shogun or Baby Reindeer, then you had a great weekend because those two shows cleaned up. Shogun picked up the award for Best New Scripted Series at the Independent Spirits because it was an indie production prior to distribution by Hulu and FX. At the SAG Awards, it picked up Best Female Actor in a Drama Series for Anna Sawai, Best Male Actor in a Drama Series for Hiroyuki Sanada, and Best Ensemble in a Drama Series. It's been almost 1 year exactly since the first episode of Shogun premiered, so this is kind of a final victory lap for this first season. Baby Reindeer swept the performance categories for a new scripted series at the Independent Spirit Awards, with Nava Mao winning for Best Supporting Performance, Jessica Gunning winning for Breakthrough Performance, and Richard Gadd winning for Lead Performance. At the SAG Awards, Jessica Gunning won for Best Female Actor in a TV, movie, or limited series, and the only thing that kept Baby Reindeer from total dominance was Richard Gadd's loss to Colin Farrell for Best Actor in a TV, movie, or limited series for The Penguin. Not only did Colin Farrell get to pick up his SAG Award, his first SAG Award ever, by the way, which was hard for me to believe, he also had a chance to hug it out with Jamie Lee Curtis as a way of apologizing for giving her COVID at the Golden Globes a couple of years ago.
Guilty as charged. But Brendan Gleeson gave it to me, so I was just spreading the love.
The award for Best Female Actor in a Comedy Series went to Jean Smart for Hacks, her third SAG Award and the third that she's won for Hacks. And the award for Best Male Actor in a Comedy Series went to Martin Short, which is kind of surprising because Only Murders in the Building almost never wins anything at these big awards shows. Unfortunately, Martin Short wasn't there because, true story, he got COVID at the SNL 50th anniversary show, presumably not from Colin Farrell. And in another big surprise, Best Ensemble in a Comedy Series went to Only Murders in the Building. That's right, an actual comedy show won. And Only Murders won for the first time in 4 nominations after losing to Ted Lasso, Abbott Elementary, and the hilarious The Bear.
Wait, we never win. This is so weird.
This was the first time that The Bear ever walked away from the SAG Awards empty-handed, and it does seem like awards show voters are perhaps tiring of the fact that it is much more a drama series than a comedy series, because we're seeing those prizes spread out a lot more than we did for the last couple years. So those are my thoughts on the Screen Actors Guild and Independent Spirit Awards. What did you think? Do you disagree with me about Timothée Chalamet's speech? Let me know down in the comments below, and stay tuned right here because this is just the first of a full week of Oscar coverage. Later on this week, I'm going to give give you my predictions for who will win at the Academy Awards, who I would pick if I were in the Academy, and who could be on Upset Alert, the movies that could surprise people, so stay tuned for that. And I've also got a couple other fun Oscar things planned, plus all the usual movie news, reviews, box office, and more. Thanks so much for watching this recap of the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.